Hey everybody, it's me Keeks back with a brand new video, and in today's video I'm going to be reviewing the newest video game based movie, Five Nights at Freddy's. Um, just a heads up, I have never played the game at all. I just know a little bit about the story and um my nephew plays it a lot, and he talks about it a lot, so I kind of just know like little bits from him, but not very much. This is just a casual view of the movie. Um, so with that all said and done, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into it. Alright, so Five Nights at Freddy's. Is it a movie worth watching? Well, as a casual viewer of just like watching a movie and like not being somebody who plays the game, I would have to say yes. I did enjoy the movie very much. I have heard, they made some changes from the game and from the story. But the gist of what I understood is there. Now, there's probably going to be like some people who don't like the movie that it changed things. But just being a casual viewer, it's a very good movie. I will say it does suffer from the PG-13 rating. Getting into the game itself, the game, at least the first game, is like it's a pretty much a horror survival game the way I understand it. You play a security guard, you're working at this pizza place, you gotta keep your eyes on these monitors, the animatronics start moving around. That's just what I understand the first game to be. And the game is very well known for its jump scares and stuff. Unfortunately, they cut it down. The game, the way I understand it, is like really brutal, but there's not a lot of gore or brutal things. They're implied, but you barely see like any blood or like anything. So it's not a gory movie. They really, you know, kept it more like I guess, a supernatural suspense thing going on. There's ghost children involved, and of course, like the scary animatronics. And gotta give it up to the Jim Henson Company for designing Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica. They really stayed close to like what they pretty much stayed very close to what they look like in the games. A lot of times when you see these movies make live action adaptations on stuff, they especially video games, they try to change it up and stuff, but they didn't do that here, so that's very cool for the fans. I think they'll enjoy that. Um, so another reason why I think the PG-13 kind of like hurts it a little bit is that there's jump scares, but it's more like they try to be jump scares. You kind of see them coming. I didn't find myself being scared of any of the jump scares. There's one part with Foxy that kind of kind of made my heart race a little bit. But like it was something I knew was coming because I think it was shown like in the trailers and stuff. Um, but yeah, that one thing, kind of did give me a little shock there. Story wise, of course, the story I found I was very interested in. So the story is about this guy named Mike who's been working like odd jobs and he's taking care of his sister. Their mom died. Their father, from the sounds of it, I don't know if he died or he just completely left the bed. I was kind of confused about that. But yeah, he's looking after his sister, working all these odd jobs, and he has an aunt who wants to take his sister away from him, and she's a total, we'll just say witch, but it's actually a word that rhymes with witch. She's a terrible person. She has these hired goons. One of them being Mike basically has a babysitter that watches his sister when he's at work and stuff. Turns out this babysitter is working for his aunt, and her brother is working for her too. And the aunt is basically using the babysitter to try to get dirt on Mike because she wants to take his sister Abby away from him. So all this going on, Mike loses a job. He's got to get another job. He goes to see a career counselor, played by the great Matthew Lillard. We won't go into too many details on Matt's character. But if you kept up with casting and stuff like that, you probably know who he's playing, how he relates to the game. So, so not gonna go into him because there's some spoilers there. But if you know and think about the game, you kept up with like the casting of the movie, you know who I'm talking about. But anyways, of course, like he gets the job at Freddy Fazbear's pizzeria. Starts working there. Now there's this whole subplot where Mike used to have a brother named Garrett, and his brother was kidnapped when he was very young. They were at a picnic, and his mom asked him to hey, go look after your brother. Mike goes looking for him, sees him in the backseat of a car that's just driving off, and that has basically troubled Mike for years. Probably caused a rift in his parents' relationship and all that. He kind of suffers from PTSD, you can say, from it, and he keeps having dreams of the situation, which is something that he's actively seeking because he believes if he can go, basically believes that he can like examine every detail in his dreams, um, he'll be able to like find out who took his brother and like what actually happened to him. Um, so to help, Mike enlists the help of sleeping pills and a book called Dream Theory, which the book's not really important to the plot, but the dreams are because the dreams start getting like very freaky, especially after he gets the job at the pizzeria. He starts seeing these random kids. Uh, like sometimes they have like black blood coming out their eyes. It's a very very crazy situation for Mike. And during the time of him working at the pizzeria, he meets Officer Vanessa, played by Elizabeth Lale. Um, awesome actress, loved her as Beck in You. That's where I know her from. Um, she was also in another show on NBC that I don't remember the name of. That had to do with like a bunch of different like timelines. It was crazy. I don't even think it's still on anymore. So you know, but she was a great actress, great in this movie. Loved it. Everybody in this movie was great. Josh Hutcherson, who you might remember from The Hunger Games, who played Peeta. He plays Mike in this movie. Very great. The storyline was very good. I found I enjoyed it very much. It could have been a little. They could have made it a little more scary with the animatronics. They're not really scary at all. Um, they're a bit silly. Some of the deaths are a bit silly. Like for instance, one character basically gets his face eaten off by an animatronic cupcake. Um, another person gets their body bit in half by Freddy. So that happens. But again, it's not gory or anything. It's just it's a PG-13 rating. I think they should go for an R. Now I think I know why they went to PG-13 rating. So despite the fact that Five Nights at Freddy's is like at least the first game, like I said, as I understand it, is a horror survival game. It's become its biggest fan base seems to be kids. Yeah. My nephew who enjoys it, he's just turned 12. I want to say he just turned 12 or 13, and he's been enjoying the games, and he talks about it a lot, and it's one of his favorite things. One of his little what you call it, little obsessions. But he enjoyed this game very much. But I was very surprised with the way he was so into it because I always knew it was some kind of like horror game. You wouldn't think a kid would be into that, but he is, and a lot of them are. And I think they really tried to kind of like focus on that age of the fan base with like especially like with the movie. I think it's where they with a PG-13 rating. There's also some like young juvenile fiction books uh that are part of the series. Yeah, so yeah, they really kind of focus on like kind of like being aware that there are kids who like it. Of course, I think I'm not like saying I don't know much about the games. I know they've had like new updates and DLCs, I guess, come out for it and stuff. I think maybe the game kind of still focuses on like the horror aspects of it. But yeah, so anyways, the movie, like I said, as a casual viewer, very good. I enjoyed it. Um, could have been better. The story's intriguing. Um, but like if you're going in like as like a horror fan, expecting a lot of blood, you're gonna be disappointed. It's not really scary. It's fun, but I think they could have still done like a lot more. So, anyways, my rating for this is probably be like I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. Like I said, I feel like they could have done more. Um, as far as like I understand the lore, they kind of kept close to it. I don't really know what they changed. I do know like there's ghost children involved in the game in some way, but I know that like, there's some other stuff. But yeah, 7 out of 10 for Five Nights at Freddy's. If you guys watched the movie, let me know what you think. Did you enjoy it? Did you like it? If you played the game, did you enjoy the movie? Let me know down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and I will see you all in the next one.